Whew. Welcome to Monday. Slightly. Welcome to Monday. A slightly flushed, feeling a little dehydrated. Good thing we've got our water bottle Monday. Ooh. And you know, a Monday where camera decided that they don't want to focus on us. No? Tuesday for, yeah, let's be. I need this camera to stop trying to focus on faces that aren't faces. Are you done? Good Lord. Oh boy. All right, well. We're gonna switch to. I'm gonna go sell the necessaries and then get dressed and go to work at, 10 o'clock at night, as is usual around here. Oh no. Let's go. Take all this off. Go sell the things that we just picked up on a mystery island. That's what I was doing earlier. Then we're gonna go to work. Log steaks. Already have log steaks, but it's okay. Okay. Let's grab some shoes and some socks and a hat. Because a hat would be good. What you doing, Joe? What you doing? Justin is finally on. Oh. This one. Always this one. It's good. It's just good. That was the wrong button for that. All right. Nope. Hello? Hello, Sean? Hello? How are we doing? Going in general? Things going in general? There we go. Much better. Hello? Gotta go sell our shit. Hello, Sean? Welcome to Monday. Tired, long day. Had to do the Costco. Oh wait, hang on. What is this? Yes. Yeah, everything is good now. We have coffee. Had to go do the Costco things today, which, that's always fun. But at least I got to do it with the Huffle's husband on. Oh, they're all still out here. Oh, me and the boys did a KK song earlier. Hamlet was here with Tia, which was adorable. Like Hamlet sat next to Tia and was like, oh, and it was really cute. And look at Zucker and Marina. What in the heck is this? This is freaking adorable. Okay. That is all. That's adorable. That is all. Are y'all still up? Oh, thank goodness y'all still up. Hey, I got a lot of fish from Mystery Island. Oh, how was your Monday? Yay, errands. Necessary and exhausting. Okay. Played against Sports and Lowe's? That's fun. We just did Costco, Fred's, and Target because it was one of those weeks where we're out of literally everything, including shampoo. So, just cheers. Me over here with my instant lemonade. Joe's being loud. Joe's being loud. Being so loud. The fuck? Deposit all of our shit into the Nook stop. Oh, you can. Oh, you can. Smack them on the head with a net enough, and then if you really don't like them, you time travel 2 weeks ahead, and then you wait to see whose head a little thought bubble comes up on. There's a raid with what? I'm sorry. What in the heck? Who is 40 viewers? Banzian, what? Banzaniator? Excuse you. Excuse you? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Excuse you? With my out of focus camera, because my camera would much rather focus on poltergeists behind me than my actual face. Excuse you? Hello? Banzanator? SK! Oh my god. Joe. We just got raided by 40 people. But who? What? Board games? You were playing board games, and y'all decided to raid 40. They're raided by somebody with 40 viewers. 40? 40. 40. He's not impressed. He's not impressed because this person just came in here with 40 viewers with me with like my 2 and decided like, yeah, this is a good person to raid. This person with 2 people like hanging. Hello? Thank you. My goodness. Daryl with 1 R. Thank you so much. Okay, hang on. Pillar Angel, thank you so much for the follow. I just feel obligated to tell y'all, hello, my name is Zoe. I am a professional idiot on the internet because I have no marketable skills. And we just hang out and we play cozy games because, like I said, I have no marketable skills. You guys, and there's Banzanator, I think. Username is difficult. I'm having trouble. Bonsai. Oh my gosh, it's Bonsai. Yes, she does speak some Japanese, but apparently that escaped her. Hello. Bonsai-nator. Bonsai-nator. And hello, the poltergeist who plagues our camera is named Peeves. So Bonsai Terminator. I love it. I'm here for it. I appreciate you think that I'm amazing, considering you've been here for 5 seconds, so appreciate that. Undermined 9. Bonsai-nator. Thank you, Bonsai-nator. You are very, very sweet. Welcome to the chaos. We're playing Animal Crossing. Cause like hang on, I have to go drop off redundant DIY on my beach out of pure nervousness. It's good, it's fine. This is normal. This is hello. What board game were you playing, Bonsai-nator? You must tell me, because I love board games. Obviously, I'm sitting here playing Animal Crossing. What were we playing tonight? Thank you everybody for... Nope, I fumbled my controller because I'm nervous. Okay, I'm good, fine, good. It's good. How's everybody doing? How's everybody's night doing? This is Monday. This is a Monday. How's everybody's Monday? Tell me everything. I must know. Because we have to spill the tea on everybody's Monday. Spill the tea on your Monday. You know? Yes, I actually do want to hold that. I don't know why. I'm having trouble. Worked on with downloadable PC. Oh, I love Island Planner. Yes. Board game content. Love it. Island Planner is great. It needs some tweaking, but other than that, it's pretty great. What board games did we play? Like, I'm legitimately curious, though. I don't have a watering can on me because I was doing other things. What board games did we play? I must know. I love that. I love all of that. Everybody else, if you feel comfortable chatting. Like, that's always the caveat, if you feel comfortable. Not everybody does. What were we playing? What is happening here? Nope. I don't know who that is. We're playing this. I don't know if that's copyright or not. Right, SK? Right, SK? I mean, I don't even know. I don't know what's happening. Okay? I am broken. I am 100% broken, SK. SK, are you responsible for this? SK? Excuse you, SK. Are you responsible for this madness? Oh my god. Oh my... Oh. Oh. My god. I had to do it, Janice. I did. For reasons, okay? It's just for reasons. Thank you very much, SK. If you are like, if you know, you've been with Bonsai for a while, SK is a good friend. I'm just gonna fire slingshots into the air for celebration reasons. Played Prete Poto solo mode and listened to Poor Box Design. Oh, right. Good deal. Good deal. We love to see it. You're laughing. And I'm dying on the inside. Why? Why? Well, thank you everybody who came and to hang out. I'm gonna get some money out here and then love you too. Sipping more wine. Listen, we're slipping on some lemonade. Same. We may break out the tequila in a second because I don't know what to do with my good self. Listen. Well, Bonsai Mater. What kind of wine are you sipping on? I must know. I'm a nosy bitch. What are you drinking? What's happening? Guys. But yes, I do love you, SK. You're the best. No one can deny SK is the best. Listen. Deniers will be eliminated with prejudice. After Christmas, oh, you know that when Steffe starts, you know. Bonanza! What? Kabsov, we excuse you. We stan a Kabsov. We stan. Dry, dark, a little jammy. We stan. Yes. Yes. Nope, that's not what we went to do. Okay. Actually, I'm not gonna go to Harv's. I'm not gonna go to Harv's right now. We are actually gonna try and go to work. You'd think after a week she'd be ready for this, but she's not. Here we go. Okay, the variety of stuff. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Mostly because I'm a nosy bitch, but also because, like, Steffe deserves it. I can't get my camera to not stop focusing on my background. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Thank you for sharing. Thank you very much for sharing. Hang on. I'm just gonna add real quick. I'm sorry, Bonsai. What is Cephalobot? What is happening with Cephalobot? Oh, I totally forgot. Last night I was actually creating for Cephalobot.
Oh, I'm looking at MAC.
He's being loud because he's crypto trading currently. Hey!
What?
You! Pipe down! He says no. I'm registering you on my mic, just so you know. Hey. He didn't hear me. Do you think he heard? No, he did not hear me. So yeah, he's currently trading crypto as we speak. Let's Cephalobot. I want you on my island, but now I have you on my archipelago. What do I do here? Listen, these are the struggles of a domestic streamer. He's trading crypto because he's smart, and you know, he's been working at it for like the past year and a half to be trading, and it's been work. So okay, what am I doing? Cephalobot. You're trying to get Cephalobot. It does sound hard. It sounds really hard, which is why I am a weirdo on the internet instead, because that sounds hard. I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, I don't think any. Okay, it does sound pretty hard. Like I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. Okay, we'll see. We'll see how this goes. Okay. Okay. God, he's got ETH. Listen to him. He's got ETH over there? What is happening? Okay, I think I just, oh, good lord. I think I just cluttered this up too much. That should be okay-ish? Question mark? Okay. Okay. We're trying it here. Hang on. I think I paused preemptively. Nope, that's not it. Hang on. Here we go. There's some music. I'm terribly sorry. I was panicking and didn't know what was happening. So there wasn't music for a second. Okay. What can we put outside here? Oofed. Big oof. Big oof. Also, like, with the whole crypto thing, I don't know, cold sleep pot. That looks like something. This looks like Halo shit. That's what that gives me vibes of. That's Halo shit. I don't know how to deal with that. What is that? Does that or I'm sorry. If y'all have been around for the lore for a hot second, your monitor's gonna go. Thank you so much for hanging out, Bonsai. Catch my streams in the future. I stream super late because I stream after my kids go to bed. So, you know, 11 p.m. Pacific is when we stream. But thank you so much. My Twitter is snitcheswitch, at snitcheswitch. Hang on. Hang on. There it is. There's all the things if you would like to hang out with me. But 11 p.m. Pacific is when I normally start streaming, because I do it after my kids go to bed, because if my kids need snuggles, then that's the priority, like flat out. If they come in and interrupt stream, they're the priority. I'm gonna end stream and go snuggle my kids. Like that's because they're small. So thank you, Bonsai. Thank you, Bonsai. Like, holy buckets. Thank you for bringing your peeps over here to just hang out with me. I appreciate you. We're gonna do one more for Bonsai. We're gonna do one more shout out for Bonsai because thank you. And we're gonna do one more for SK because SK is a good person. We know SK is a good person. We know Bonsai is a good person. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, guys. This is just what we're gonna do. We're gonna hang out and we're gonna try and make Cephalobot. Listen, hang on though. Here we go. Here we go. We got something. You too, Bonsai. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out. I'm sorry I got your name wrong for like so much of the stream. But anyway, so we're just gonna do some of this. Don't even worry. Why is that huge enormous? What is this? It's kind of huge. What? Okay, hang on. I now have other ideas. What is this? What is this? I don't know anymore, and I feel like this is gonna be a little easier to, yeah, there we go. Okay. That. Why is that part of things here? That's now part of things. Listen, Octavian already has this in his house. And here's the thing. If you don't know about cephalopods, there's a lot. Cephalopods are one of those things where like octopus, cuttlefish, squid, all these things belong to the cephalopod family. If you sequence their DNA, they undermine. Thank you so much. You also have a great night. If you sequence the cephalopod DNA, the sequencing for that does not align with any other thing on the planet. Like, you know, if you sequence a human DNA, they're like, oh yeah, you're like, you know, this % monkey and this % cow and like this % carrot. But like with cephalopod, they're like, no, they like match to other cephalopods. Like here's octopus DNA and it's like cuttlefish and squid and that's it. No, that's it. No, that's all. Like they don't, there's no cow, there's no carrot, there's no nothing. They're like, yeah, they're carbon based. That's the only similarity. So there's a lot of theories that are like, what if cephalopods though are like alien pets that got left on our planet and now they're just here? Like, let's just hang out with that for a second. Can't too much. Oh my god. So the alien thing though, with that, the alien thing gives me concern. So it's just okay. Nope, it isn't like that. Okay, we're gonna make a little circle here then. Because I don't know what else to do there. Everybody else, like, if you're not comfortable chatting, don't even worry about it. We're just gonna vibe and try to make a lovely home for these alien overlords. It's fine. It's fine. This is fine. This is good. We're gonna find something else for Obo and 10A. Like, what is happening? What is happening? What is happening? Let's just give him a garbage can because I don't know what else to do here. Oh, a rocket. No, a rocket outside needs to happen. Okay. Let's throw the rocket takes up like no space. Okay, here we go. Normal trash cans because we are a normal human. Oh god, I think I selected that for him, but considering now, let's just do that because it's a little splash of color. Because this is a lot of gray. The mist feels appropriate. Let's see here. I'm like flustered and I don't know what's happening. Gosh. No. Sorry, we're being picky with our music tonight because I don't know. Can't customize the block fence. I mean, maybe. Maybe. That's okay. Okay. Sure. Question mark? I guess. Let's go inside. Let's go inside and figure out. Oh, wait. I don't think house. House needs something else happening here. Can't select this. Oh, okay. Never mind. Okay. Let's bring everybody inside. Thank you, Sean, for permabanning. Appreciate you. Guys, feel free to chat, but like, don't be that person. You know? How's everybody doing? That's what we're interested in. Oh gosh. Oh heck. Wait, we've got mood lighting now, and I didn't. Oh no. Okay, there we go. Windows. Yes, we're using Windows. Okay, we don't know. I don't know. Okay, let's give him a bigger. Certain what? Oh, railroaded? Oh, is he your first campsite villager? Is he the first? Because I've got bad news. You're the first campsite villager. The first, so like the first person, no, you're good. You're good. You're good. The first campsite villager you get, yes, you are railroaded into inviting them in, because I don't know, that's the mechanics and I think it's dumb. I don't like it. I don't like getting railroaded into that ish, but that's what we get railroaded into. So if Hans, oh god, if Hans is your first villager, then yes, you are railroaded into inviting him to your island. That's it. He will stay on your island indefinitely. Yes, he is kind of a douche. That's because he's a, I think that Hans is a snooty. And the thing about snooty villagers, and yes, they're a douche. Lionel's a snooty. There's a lot of snooty villagers, and yeah, they're all kind of the worst. I don't like snooty villagers personally. If you like snooty, I think actually a Cephalobot that we're currently decorating for is a snooty. Fuck snooties. Like, ugh. So wait, Hans is Santa? That's adorable. I love all of that. So yeah, that becomes kind of a problem because yeah, he's really sweet. And here's the thing, if you think about it, like, yes, he's a gorilla villager type, but he's a Yeti. So like you could have fun with that. You could have a lot of fun with that if you wanted to. I also get like not wanting to have fun with that type. Ooh. Okay, that's fun. He has to have this. So I'm gonna throw this over here. Okay, so like what is this? What is this? What is this? Meter and pipes. Unknown machine. Unknown machine with a big red button. Good. Good. It's got a big... Oh, he's a smug. Okay, not snooty. No, smugs are also the worst. Wizarding Santa. That's cute. Okay, so you like... Yeah. I think you can have a lot of fun with smug villagers. They are a pain in the ass. I'm just gonna be honest. Like, snooty or smug villagers are a pain in the ass. You know? Oh, here we go. Sean, you're heading to bed. Thank you so much for hanging out. I am also getting very sleepy, but I want to get a lot of this stuff done, and then we shall see. I think there's a bit of adjustment / adaptation that your island has to go through with each smug villager. Over time, they seem to start fitting with the vibe of the island. Right? Yeah. It like, because you're like, why are you like this? Why are you being like this? And then it's just like, okay, I don't What is happening?
Years.
Ooh.
So that's like
The lime sofa of this? Oof. Yeah, it takes a little bit for each villager, I think, to hang out and like and figure themselves out. Smug in particular does take the longest, and it's like I don't know what you're gonna be, and I don't know. Alright, what? They don't want any green things, do they? Ketchup. Oh. I had ketchup for a little bit too. I don't know. Ketchup's difficult. Ketchup was difficult for me too. I don't know. Again, I have like a themed island. My island theme is pirate. And so like, you know, ketchup didn't really fit in with any of that. And that's okay. All right. Kind of bad. Why does this look like something out of Halo? What is happening? What are these colors? I'm confused. We'll do the green because yeah, you're just waiting for her to ask to leave. I mean, I don't blame you. I really don't blame you. You know? This is such a weird build. I don't know what to do here. I like Cephalobot, but like maybe nope. Oh boy. Sure. Oh, whatever they like to have playing. Okay, they needed like a table or something. We can set the mood though. Okay, hang on. We can set wait. Ooh. Okay. Okay. Throw one of these in there. I don't know. I feel like that's all I can contribute to the conversation here. What do you think, Cephalobot? I think it's ready. Mostly because I'm tired. I don't want to go to bed. Donk donk, is that his catchphrase? Okay, we're gonna pause the music for a second. We're gonna crank this. Ta-da! Cephalobot. Maybe? I don't know. Doesn't feel the worst. Oh, he pulled out a little wrench? Excuse you, that's adorable. That was freaking adorable. I'm just gonna say right now. Yeah, I'll take photos. Of course I will. Okay, so yeah? Oh wait. The lot. There it is. There it freaking is. There it is. Oh, thank you. I'm heading back. Let's go collect. Go collect. Oof. Thank you, Lottie. Let's see what's up. Paradise Planning is teaming up with the one and only Happy Home Academy. In what way? Yes, I have. Yes, I have. Services share design. Oh. I made a very, very cursed build for Dom. Dom asked for things and they were cursed. I'm finished. I'm good. Cause I legit like we did shopping today, and that's normally a thing we do on Sundays for this very reason. I need to go to bed. I need to finish this, but mostly I need to go to bed. Like, oof. Big oofs. Let's see what they. Oh wait, this is a bubble machine. Oh. Yes, I'm taking the bubble machine. This is very important. What are you? A metal pot, yes. Thank you. Okay, I've already seen that. What is this? Fine. Okay, now I think we're good. Choose which ones you post. Okay. We might share DOMs just for the laughs anyway. Unfortunately, I'm just so wet. I can barely keep my eyes open, so I think we're actually gonna end it here because I gotta go to bed, y'all. Thank you so much for everybody who rated and who was sticking around for this long, because I have not been streaming for that long and I have got to go to bed. I'm sitting here being like, oh no, it's bedtime. Right. So I'm gonna go to bed. I will see you again tomorrow. Same time, same cursed place. 11 p.m. Pacific. Good night. I gotta go to bed. I'm so tired. Thank you, SK, again for leading the raid.